And welcome back, Magic friends. This is your captain speaking, and we're here today to talk about some exciting news, which I didn't think would ever come out of my mouth and say this in the same sentence. Secret Lair. So before we get started, like and subscribe. Tell your friends and family. Let them know about the channel. Get you guys to watch. I really do appreciate the support. And with that said, watch to the end as I give you my advice on this Secret Lair. So before we get started, just remember, I hate Secret Lair. Went over this lots of times, a lot of my other videos. I think it's selling cards to the public. It cuts out the middleman, local game stores, so forth and so on. There's a lot of reasons I don't like Secret Lair. I think it's a money grab. It's a lot of bad things about it, right? And if you look at different videos, I talk in different ways and different things about what Secret Lairs are good, which ones are bad, and probably for the wrong reasons than you guys think. Um, but with that said, let's get into this and talk a little bit about what this is. And if you believe it, it is Secret Lair for Phyrexia. And I never thought I would see this in my life. Although I should have guessed that they would just start picking up stuff that was, some of the best cards in Magic and just start pumping them through Secret Lair. Now, with that said, as we talk about Secret Lair Phyrexia, it's going to talk about all the Phyrexian big hitters. And to boot, they're coming in this secret lair in Phyrexian language. Oh my god. So, we'll get started. First off, easy, we have Elesh Norn. Elesh Norn, the Grand Cenobyte, it's 2 white and 5 for 4/7. Other creatures you control get +2/+2. Your opponent creature get -2/-2, and it has Vigilance. It is the big bag Praetor from Phyrexia. If you watch the lore, she's the one that took over after everything happened, so forth and so on. Um, and we haven't really got a lot of cards in Phyrexian language or artwork per se. So I'm really excited about this. This is the base card. So as we move forward, just keep this in mind. What I'm going to show you are the pre-release digital images. So the actual card itself may look a little different. It might even be a little crisper, a little cleaner, because these are digital images. So prepare yourself, guys, for this hot taco. Look at this sweetness. Is this not? Oh my God. This is beautiful. Now, with that said, you know how much everybody loves to play cards that nobody can read. Because just what we need when we're sitting around a magic table is more people whipping out their phones to try to figure out what the errata is on a card. But this Phyrexian card is phenomenal. The art's great, the border's great, the language is pretty. If this comes out in foil, it's even better. I just can't say enough things about how sweet this card is. So we have Elesh Norn as our very first one. So our next Praetor is Vorinclex, the Voice of Hunger. Now this was on the list here recently. It's up in the $30, $40 range, maybe even 50 now. It's a real good card. It's real expensive, and everybody's been playing it. It's a staple from back in the day. Everybody loves it. EDH players, people want to cheat stuff into the field. And when you look at this in Phyrexian art, which you never had before, you get this. Man, is this pretty. Once again, I love the border. I love the language. Just, definitely a collector's item here. And if you play it, I mean, with that money you're going to spend on it, why wouldn't you? So I can't say enough good things about the Vorinclex either. So the card is just too sweet. Now, we'll move forward on to our next Praetor, which is Burbrask the Hidden. Now, this is only a 4 mana one. It costs 5, but all your creatures have haste, and creatures your opponent controls enter the battlefield tap. Now, not real big on the broken side as far as Praetors go, but still cool. 5 for a 4/4. Has neat ability. Do gotta admit, the art's pretty sweet. Kind of reminds me of like a xenomorph from Aliens getting ready to pounce on somebody. So, what's it look like? In Altar, it looks like this. And man, is this a sweet one too. I love the red border. It just really pops. And I kind of like how the art gets darker, if that's really how the card is, because it gives it that more sinister look to it. And yeah, it's just so pretty. So pretty. So move on to the next one. Our next one is the Whispering one. So 7 mana for 6/6. We're back to the 7 mana cards again. Has Swamp Walk. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature. So it's like an Abyss with a kickback. Now, this card is great. 6/6 Swamp Walk, legendary creature. Real cool. So what does this look like in Phyrexian art? It looks a little something like this sweet hotness. So love this border once again. I love the dulls and the black with the nice bright white is very pretty. I do think like the toughness and attack at the bottom and how the name is really big. I think on the actual art card it's going to be a lot smaller. It's going to have a lot more details, so I think it's going to make it a lot sharper and really pop. Again, these are digital images, and even with just being a digital image, these are pretty. I love the new language. So we got one more to go over, and that last one is Jin Cataxius, the Core Augur. This one is a 10 mana 5/4 with flash. At the beginning of your end step, you draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. Dun 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 dun. It is amazing. Once again, another great card to cheat in. It's not real big, a little easier to kill, but if this thing sits around for 1 or 2 turns, sweet mother of God. I mean, you just burn through your deck and just basically win the game because your opponent can't hold anything in their hand. Not to mention it's a 5/4, it has flash. It's the bee's knees. So this is the last one, guys. What does it look like in Phyrexian art? It looks like this. And once again, man, is it pretty in this border. Oh my God. So with that said, other than just the amazing art on these, it looks like the secret lair is probably going to be these 5 cards in Phyrexian language. Now with that said, one thing I want you guys to realize, these card values, I looked them up individually, but I can't really remember anymore. But they're in the price range depending on what kind you look at, is around $150 to $200, depending on which set they're from and if it's a reprint card, yada yada yada. So anywhere from $150 to $200. So what I'm seeing here is if they print this lower than 150, the cards are probably going to take a big dive. But they might not, for the simple fact that the original cards aren't in Phyrexian language. Only Elish Norn was one of those that was really rare that came out in this kind of style, and that card is worth a small fortune because of it. But this is just phenomenal. So what I'm hoping here, guys, is when we see this get priced, and it's not priced yet because I went and I checked, at least not at the filming of this. If they put this out there for like $100, let's be generous, say $100, even 129 or 120, 129.99 or whatever. As long as they don't make it the 150 value of the value of the exact value of the cards. I kind of want them to, but at the same time I don't, because I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this is a secret lair I think I would buy. So you guys have known that I'm a big opponent of secret lairs. I don't like what they do with them. I don't like their content. I don't like how they sell them. I don't like the fact that they're piss poor quality with foils and all that stuff. But out of everything they've made, these cards just seem so sweet. And I hate to say it, like the value of what this is priced at, just like with the shock lands, is really going to determine whether or not I buy this. If this is anywhere from $150 to $120, maybe $130, I could easily see myself picking up a couple of these just because they're amazing. And if that's just for plain ones, like imagine if they offer these in foil. Oh my God! Or even if they're in foil and they cost $150 in foil, even though that I know they're gonna curl, it's gonna be awful. Yada yada yada. I still might pick up a couple just because. Oh my God! Are these just phenomenal? As much as I hate to say it, it looks like Wizards of the Coast finally pulled their head out of their butts and printed a card that's not going to demolish any format, and printed cards that are hard to get, that aren't they aren't going to decimate the world by doing this, or anybody's collection per se, because these aren't real cards that, these aren't like Mox Diamonds and Snapcaster Mages, those real high value cards that everybody wants to play. These aren't shock lands or fetch lands. These are expensive cards that are niche but still cool. And they're niche cards that I wouldn't go pick up individually, but in a box set like this for convenience, plus the extra special stuff on here, oh God, I find it really hard to resist these. And I pray to God they come out cheap, just because I really think I want these. As much as I hate to admit that to you guys, I'm so sorry that I have to say that they finally made a secret lair that might be worth a damn. And with that said, we talked about the Shockland ones, to kind of revisit that. No, I didn't buy any, because you notice instead of placing them out there in 2 sets of 5, they placed them out there in groups of 4. So if you bought all 15 boxes, you ended up with extra shocks of some colors, and the extra shocks were the cheap shocks. So it was kind of like them roping you in, so that if you wanted to get a play set of 4, you ended up with extra ones. And it was just, I think it was really bad marketing, really bad selling. And I hope nobody bought those, because they weren't all that spectacular compared to regular shocks, especially since there's no foil option. And if you did buy foils in the shocks, why the hell would you? Because they're just going to curl and be unplayable. Um, but like with these being in an EDH deck or whatever, playing for fun, oh, these are just so sweet. This may be the golden ticket, guys. If these all 5 are in one secret lair, like I said, for 100 to 125, I might be in on this one. And I'll tell you guys later, once it comes out, how I really feel once the pricing goes. But I really think that they've really hit it out of the park with this one, and it's really phenomenal. So with that said, guys, in the comment section down below, please tell me what you think about this as a secret lair, the art, the borders, the text, and is this something you'd like to see them do more in secret lairs? Now, I would like to actually see them stop doing secret lairs and put these kind of stuff into the actual, like in Modern Horizons, do this to give it more value, because for the love of God, we're already paying out the nose for this for the Modern Horizons product, plus with all the other fees, and I'll get into that later, and all the allocation issues. But anyway, the topic of the day is this, though. I really would rather have this in an actual product I could open in a pack. But still, as a secret lair, I think this one's really on par, and it might be one that people want to buy. That's just my 2 cents, guys. If you do buy this, I would buy a couple of them if they're cheap enough. Open one to play with. Keep the others sealed so that you don't damage them. You don't see them curl. It's just, sealed product's always better, even in secret lair. So anyway, guys, with all that said, thanks a lot for your time. I'll let you get back to your regular scheduled programming of Netflix binging or YouTube binging or whatever it is you're binging. I won't say what other things are people binge, but you know what I'm talking about, you guys out there who are in the teenage range. Anyway, so with that said, guys, thanks a lot, and until next time, remember, this is your captain speaking. Be kind.